Nicole O'Neill once said, "When you find the courage to use your voice, it has the power to positively inspire and change the lives of others. It is one of the special gifts you have to offer the world. It is something to be cherished and championed, never hidden." And that is why we are here on Your Voice, Your Impact. I am the energetic EJ. I am a life and transformational coach, and I work with women aged 40 and above to turn their abandoned dreams into achievable goals by activating their voice for impact. I'm also a podcaster and an event host. On this show with me is
Great, so amazing. The goal of this show is to help people use their voices to create impact. I am a physicist and a life coach. What I do for my clients is I help them build systems to achieve their goals whilst having fun doing it. On this show, we discuss topical issues that can inspire you to move. Like, subscribe, and share. Welcome aboard.
All right. Welcome on board. Welcome back to Your Voice, Your Impact show. So we were away last week. Yes, we needed a quick break because, some things happened and we're like, see, at the end of the day, the important thing for us is that we show up consistently. And we needed, to take that quick break, but we're back. Let me bring on Gracie so we can share how our weekend went. And then we will dive right into the conversation today, where our guest, Abdulraheem Oreagba, will be sharing with us lessons from over 2 decades of experience being in the career space. His bio is so rich. Talk about moving from being a lead here and there to being a coach and, having all these beautiful, beautiful certifications and qualifications. And we just want to learn from him today some of the lessons that he has learned and garnered over the years as a professional. But let me bring up Gracie and then we will have our intros. Hello, Gracie. How are you? So today we are twinning.
We are twinning, though. Yes, so yeah. Thank God I'm smiling today. I'm sure, one good thing about this show is that I look forward to it. So I'm usually excited. Over the weekend, I was somehow sick. I had this flu and it made me so weak. I was just lying down from morning till evening. I didn't do anything. But I think I rested well. It was my body telling me to just sit down there. Don't go anywhere.
Chill.
So I'm back and I'm happy. I'm strong and no more flu. Can hear it, just slightly.
Little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm much better.
Babe, you don't already go ahead of us. So October 1st is still like a couple of days away, but you're already greening up. What's up?
Well, the green is for well-fit view. In fact, my sister saw my nails and she was like, "Why green?" And I'm like, hello, you know me and nature. You know how so it's not even the Nigerian thing, but I think it's right. It's perfect because I love Nigeria, and yes,
love it.
So green.
Love it. I mean, last week for me was busy. Obviously, why we couldn't even, have our session last week. But again, it was productive. I learned a lot. One of the resources that was used at the training that I was moderating was just a very short clip from The Matrix. So I've given myself an assignment. One of my takeaways is to go and watch that movie again. I think I've seen it here and there. I saw it when we were younger because this movie is like 1999 or thereabout. That was when it came out or something. So we saw it back then. Oh, we just watch movie and only the action, the fighting. We didn't listen. Babe, the clip that was showed because the training was around digital well-being, right? Digital well-being for educators. Man, the scene that was shown in that thing in 1999, babe, they were talking about AI and all these things. When I saw it, I'm like, hey, wait, these people don't want us to. All these movies like that, we should be paying attention. we should be paying attention. It's just like the movie that that came out last year. This one, I think it was maybe produced or written or whatever by Barack Obama, blah blah blah. But this was talking about almost like apocalypse. What did they call those things? Somehow, apocalypse, something that will happen, and give us an idea why these big shots are building underground and stocking their basement apartments. Why some people are trying to go and rent apartment in space, because it's like there's just something they know that we don't know. And I'm like, because maybe that's how COVID happened that year, but they'd already done a movie about it. Look at iRobots too. They've done a movie about it, and now we are seeing the robots come alive in businesses, in hospitals, in restaurants. Sometimes people are actually now open to the idea of having robots as partners because they are more loyal, they're more, reliable, more intelligent. They won't really argue too much with you. I'm like, hey, let's pay attention. So I'm like, I need to watch The Matrix again, just to now watch it with sense.
Intentionally, and not just to pass time.
Exactly. And looking at the things that are currently happening and see what are pointers that some of these people have seen. Because I feel like some of these movies that are especially futurist, they actually engage the contribution of futurists that can kind of project what's going to happen, where the industry is going. Even before Obama became president, there was a movie that kind of let us know, to give us an idea of what it will look like for a Black person, for a person of color to be a president. So it kind of watered down when it now became a reality. There's not too much resistance again. So I'm like, that was that was a strong thing I took out from that training. But it was really interesting, with people from 17 countries connecting 4 languages. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. I'm like, okay, girl.
You're indeed global. The global legion. Hey, my
global. So that was really good. And my weekend was fantastic. Oh my God. I'll gist you back end gisting about the weekend later, but it was good. It was interesting. Okay, let's bring our guest.
Would apologize to our guest, for having this our moment. It's our ginger.
But thank you, everyone who is joining us, whether you're joining us from Facebook, from LinkedIn, or YouTube. Thank you for joining us. So for some reason, we've been locked out of our Instagram page, so we can't access the page at the moment. So we'll be able to make posts there for now. So please, you can follow both of us individually on Facebook or LinkedIn. Connect with us on LinkedIn, but most especially, if you want to watch and catch up with our content, please, YouTube is the place to go. But also, we've now kind of created an avenue where we can relate with you more on a one-on-one basis, which is we now have an address or an office on Substack. Okay, so with Substack, you can subscribe to our channel, and any post we make, whether we're telling you about our next episode or introducing a guest to you, or highlighting, let's say, insight from our past episodes. So we're going to be collating some of those insights for you and making it as a form of a blog post, so that you can still learn, even if you don't have the time to sit down and watch a whole episode, right? So we'll be doing that through Substack. So you need to subscribe to our Substack channel, so that you can get these details weekly, or as we share this information with you. I think for us that is way better, because that way we can stay in touch with you without having to be locked out of our account, even after doing all the different. They say we should do 2 FA certification. We've done it now. Now there's a little glitch, and then they're locking us out. So it's like, enough. Right, so please do subscribe to us. We're going to drop the link in the comments in a short while. So please, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, kindly subscribe to our Substack to be a part of the work that we do here on your voice, your impact. And without further ado, today we're talking about career lessons from over 2 decades of experience, what he knows now, right? Our guest today is Abdulraheem Oreagba. And yes, Gracie is going to do more introduction of him as he comes up on stage. Hello, Mr. Abdulrahim. How are you doing today?
Hey, hello, and good afternoon. It's good to be here. Pleasure to see smiling faces, right?
Thank you.
Very
Thank you for
welcoming,
joining
very
me.
welcoming. I feel comfortable
Awesome.
already.
Oh, good. That's what we love to
We
hear.
try our best to make sure our guests are comfortable.
Oh, thank you
Absolutely.
very
Okay,
much. It
Gracie, I
works.
pass the
It
mic over
works.
to you.
All right. Today, when we were backstage, I was just sharing how excited I was and still am because we have for lack of a better word, we have someone who is going to blow your mind because I have listened to him speak, and I am here with my pen and biro, and I'll just tell you, if you're anywhere around, go grab your pen, go grab your paper, and don't say I'll watch it. You need to jot some things down. I would say that introduction, I prefer people to introduce themselves in a way that people would be like, I heard it from the horse's mouth. So I'm just going to let you tell us a little bit about you, something that should stick. When we think about you, we think about what you're going to be telling us about who you are. So please introduce yourself.
Now you've made me shy. You're making me shy. How do I
Don't be
introduce
shy. Don't
myself?
be
Oh
shy.
my God,
You
help,
shall not
help,
shy.
help.
Why shy you shy?
Wow, it's incredible, right? I like to describe myself more as a visionary, someone that is reliable, someone that thinks long term, someone that connects the dots, someone that goes deep rather than superficial. I see things that you hardly see. I connect the dots in ways that people don't connect it. I go through paths that people actually do not go through. And most importantly, I like to clear the path where others can follow. In essence, I'm more like a trailblazer, and that's how I like to describe myself. Some of the accolades can come in terms of education. I have a master's here, I have certifications there in coaching, life coaching, executive life coaching, advanced life coaching, and the likes. I also have other certifications too that has to do with information technology and marketing, sales, branding from fantastic institutions. Then I'm also a distinguished Toastmaster, right? So we learn to speak and lead, and the other parts that come with it. I'm sure Grace is very aware. And we also had some leadership positions in that light at the club level, at the area level, at the division level, at the district level, right? Also love to travel, experience culture, experience people, do interesting things. And one thing I remember that I did once was when I decided to joined the Power Bike House, and it was interesting. And for the first time, I understood why, when you ride, they bend your head. I understood clearly. The first time I hit 120, that's when I understood why you have to bend your head. You need all the level of concentration. If you have never concentrated in your life, climb the power bike and hit 200, you will concentrate for God. Because at that point in time, any distraction, anything can happen. So anytime you see someone on the bike and is moving, understand that the man is 100% aware of what he's doing. So that's about me, and most importantly, right, if I may add, right, I like to help people. There's a joy that comes out when I help people. There's this thing you can't quantify it, money cannot buy it. When you get that feedback of gratitude, right? I think it's the best frequency of exchange that will match your energy at any level. You do something for a child and the baby looks up and says, "Thank you." No matter how an adult tells you that thank you, it will not sound the same, right? Or you'll be upset. You come back home, you carry your child, and they say, "Welcome." No matter how hard it is, how hard your day has been, just a smile will change the whole thing. And somebody has been looking for, or rather, somebody has been standing in the sun for long. You just pass and say, "Hello, good afternoon," and you hand the person a chew bottle of water. The moment they touch the bottle of water, right? and you see the change in their face, it's priceless. And this is something I learned. I'll give a backstory though. I usually travel within Nigeria, right, a lot. And there's this trip between Kano and Maiduguri. So anytime I'm making that trip, I always see the soldiers. And I always ask myself, these men are here morning, afternoon, night. What can I do that'll be viable for them? You can't give them anything because that's the way they are trained, right? But I also felt obligated that how do you appreciate such men? And guess what? I thought about water. How do they get water? That was it. So I said, okay, let me try something. So I bought a crate of water, cold water. So anytime I'm passing, as I just get there and I wind down, I just hand a bottle of water. You know, they always have this serious face with their glasses and everything, looking ready for war. The moment you hand that bottle of water to them and they touch it, initially they're just looking at you, but the moment they touch it and they feel that it's cold, you see the human come out in their face. You just see it come out, and it's priceless. So if we can spread this love, we can spread gratitude, we can spread peace within our generation and amongst our people, we just see that this world will be a better place. I believe in a nutshell that is who I am. Hope I tried.
I love it. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at me. Your voice and the way you're saying it, it's just like the ice water. I mean, the water you just gave. You just gave me a bottle of ice water with the way you just shared that, and you just answered the question the way they asked someone that introduce yourself without telling us what you do, what your where you're from. These is some key things that we normally say. I do this. And how we introduce ourselves. That was how you started. While I was looking for an expo, you just gave me an expo because I saw it yesterday, and then the way you started, before you just made the other parts like secondary, but primarily you gave me an expo of what you're really about, and I think that's beautiful. Over to you, the energetic EJ.
Oh yes. Yeah, thank you very much. That was beautiful.
Thank you so much. I love the introduction. I love your voice.
Ooh.
And yes, of course, you're a speaker, Toastmasters 21 saying. So again, if you don't have the voice, who will? Who should? But yeah, we
Person
could
that did a
listen to
good job,
you.
right?
Like literally, we could listen to you. So if you are interested in, like, I know you're a busy person though, but I mean, maybe if you write a book and you want to have the audio book, actually just do the voicing by yourself, because yeah, to be interesting to listen to.
Well, thank you very much. I
So
can see my
thank you
dad
so much
smiling
for that
right here.
beautiful. You're very welcome, sir. Okay, so I mean, first things first, I love, the topic we're talking about, what you know now, right? And I want to start from there. If there was one sentence or one idea or one phrase or one perspective to start with, between like, this was what I knew before and this is what I know now, where career is concerned, that is a big lesson. If there is nothing more, say we have to leave this show right now and you need to just drop that, something you knew then and you know now versus the two, like what's the difference? What would that be for you as we segue into your career journey? And then, but I want you to start with that in case somebody's watching and they have to jump away. This is why, to hook them, like, hey, don't go anywhere because man, you need to hear this story.
Oh yes, you can say that again. I'll tell you very clearly. Know what I know now versus then. The major thing I would say is intuition. Intuition. It sounds far, but intuition. Follow your intuition. It never lies. It is big. An interesting part is it whispers. It doesn't shout. It whispers. And when it happens, you will know that I knew this. I knew this. I'm sure you'll be expecting me to say, "Oh, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that." I don't know. I told you the path I passed through is not the path everybody takes. when I was prepared, when I wanted to come for this, something said, prepare, prepare. You could ask you question from different angles. Just go and prepare, get your books. And the other part, my intuition said, Rahim, calm down. Let it come, take it on the whim. And that's when it happens. So I'll say intuition. And the reason why I say intuition is this. I think it was in 2004. Yeah, 2004, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I read a book, and the book changed my life. I remember reading the book, and it said something about speaking to 100,000 people. And I said, how do you put 100,000 people in one place? Imagine this, like 20 years ago. How do you get 100,000 people in one place and you talk to them? And for some funny reason, at that point in time, something said, Ryan, this is something you can do easily now. It's something you could do. Why not do it? I know the inner person in me said, calm down, it's not for you. Sleep, throw it away. It's not work. And I listened. Fast forward 20 years after, I'm here speaking to people, helping people, transforming lives, helping people think. And it always dates back to that point in time when I read that book. And it said, this is what you need to do. If you have an intuition, you like to help people, people come to you, you can talk to them. Way back then, I was doing it, right? But then we're still under the impression of the doctor, the accountant, the engineer, you know, our dads, our moms, blessed memories, right? They wanted us to be on the right track. But I thank God for my dad. He so rests peacefully, right? I remember when I switched, he wanted me to be a doctor, right? Interesting. He wanted me to be a doctor. I remember he told me, Sarah, you know, you're the last person I have. You know, I know your siblings will not do it, but you're the really last person. I know I need you to do this for me. I said, okay, no problem, Daddy, I'll do this. So I went. I thought I was going to do it. But deep inside, I know I was computer science, engineering was there, architecture was there because I was quite creative. But for Daddy, I went to go and do it. So I went to university. I didn't get medicine. I got microbiology. But I was promised that in the second year, I'll switch. I didn't know that was a blessing. Ooh, that scam worked for me, right? Second year we switch, I believed. But that 100 level, all my friends were all medical students. So it was, let's get together afterwards, I will advance. When I did that 100 level and I saw how they were reading, because most of my friends were in 200 level, 300 level, and I saw the workload, and I saw the sleepless nights, and I saw the textbooks, I just told myself, Ryan, give yourself brain. Give yourself brain. This is not you. How do you enjoy the life? I said, no. And that's when I said, okay, no problem. When it was 200 level, I didn't push. I didn't remind him. You know, I didn't push. I went through the motions. But my 200, 300 level, that's when the laptop became my friend. That was in the 90s. And I just saw a different path. I saw a different path, right? And I went through the process, learning it as I went deep. When I say self-learn, I self-taught myself. It was so bad that when I joined one of the reputable institutions then, you know, for a program in Oracle, when I wanted to get certified from my Oracle then at 9i, I was so into it. I was hacking their systems. You know, I was so into it. What they were not taught me, I was doing it. So I remember there was a time in class, we were having a class, right? My facilitator was teaching us a particular topic, and he needed some information from another system. So I said, why are you looking for flash drive and all that? What's the name of the system? He told me. I said, what's the name of the other item?
Is it my end? Because
Yeah, I think it's your end.
Okay.
I think it's your end because it's flowing. From my end,
Okay.
it's flowing. Yes.
So I told him that what's the name of the system. He told me. I said, what's the name of the system? He told me. I said, what's the name of the file? He told me. So from the system we were on, I hacked into the other system, retrieved all the information he wanted, and brought it in the system where we were. He looked at me, looked at the system, looked at me, looked at the system. He didn't say anything. He just said, okay, no problem. The following day I came, I noticed all the systems, all the classes had changed, the systems has changed, all the laptops. That was going on. So when we came back to class, he said, I said, what's happening here now? Why are we using this class? He said, hey, if people like you in this class, we're in trouble. All our information is not safe. So they had to reformat and change everything for that simple thing I did. Right? And that's when I looked at it. When I go back home, my sister told my dad, because I was in Lagos then. She told him because he came to visit. I told myself that after service, I wasn't going back home again. So I'd not seen my dad for like a year. So he came, they've been calling me, I refused. So he came to Lagos. And that was the first time I was seeing him after a year. And my sister told him that with what she's seeing, she should just allow me. He should allow me. That medicine is not my path. Yeah, she just allow me. Let me start with this. Whatever it is I'm doing in IT and all that, she just go ahead with it. And he said, okay, I have my blessings. And guess what? I remember yes, it was 300 level. That's when I had the best results in 300 level. I had the best results in 400 level. Because then there was clarity. I was doing it for myself, no more just because I'm dissatisfying. So when I say intuition, right, I've given the first part. The second part was before I went into university, I knew I wanted to start with a computer, but I didn't know. But because of my dad, I couldn't go ahead. He really wanted that, and I wanted it for him. I thought I was, what is there? I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm intelligent. It's all right. But when I got into university, my life changed. Doing my IT, I saw clarity, and I knew how to pivot. So at times when your mind speaks to you, right, listen. It whispers. So when the IT was speaking to me, it whispered. We started 23 in the class. Only two of us finished the course. 23 of us started, only two of us finished, and only two of us got certified. Every other person dropped, as in only two of us were coming to class and they were taking us. So I knew I was very good. And it got to my head. I remember when I wanted to get my first job and they offered me then 75,000 in the 90s. My uncle said, come and work in the bank, 75,000. I said, me, 75,000. I will not do that. Do you know how much they're paying me? You know, Oracle certified, it's $400 per hour. Please, I'm not doing it. My eyes are not clear. I've not seen reality. Anyway, let me drop it here. Let me drop it here for now. All right.
Oh my goodness. I love IT. You see. When you're a speaker, you're a speaker. When you have it, you have it. You know, I love your storyteller, and I love it. You know how you bring your points to life through the stories you tell. It is beautiful. I love it,
Thank
and I've
you very
written
much.
that down. Intuition, and again, we under what's that under? Oh,
Estimate.
the word just underestimate the power of our intuition, and most of us are actually suffering for it because and something was telling me, but you did not pay attention. But I love how you said it, to say that pay attention to it, because it actually whispers. So it means that other voices will be louder than it. So you need to lean in to listen, to catch what your intuition is saying. And sometimes, because like you said, between the time your intuition told you, or your mind told you that this is the path you're going, and the time it actually became a reality, there was a period in between. But because you listened, somehow it's made it like, it's almost like when you say, I have it at the back of my mind. I've not forgotten. No, I have it at the back of my mind. So that way, your brain is still kind of trying to connect the dots. So when the
Oh, yes.
time was right, the dots was like, yes, this is it. I can see clearly now, right? So thank you so much for pointing that out. I'll ping pong back the mic to you, Gracie. Please take it away.
Thank you so much. And I think I envisaged us, having this conversation, and this conversation is not going to be like the regular kind of conversation we're talking about. I mean, we're still talking about career. And I would say our last guest, when she came, she talked a lot about certain things that I would want to pinpoint so that you can throw light into that part from your own perspective. When it comes to career, from your story, You were able to pivot. You you knew you wanted something, and it was very easy for you. There was this environment, from school. What would you say in a situation where someone, it's a workspace now, this person is already following a career path, they are on this journey, but they know deep down inside of them that, ah, I I don't think I want to, keep doing this. I mean, but it pays the bills. You're okay, you're fine, but deep down, without a doubt that you're not just okay with what you're doing. What would you say to such a person if that person was listening to you, or the person is listening to you right now?
Oh, interesting. Thank you very much. Most people find themselves in this particular situation, right? And that's why I said intuition. It whispers, it doesn't shout. So what you have just described is where we started from. They know they need to change. They know they're not feeling comfortable. But in most cases, what happened here, if I may just start off from this perspective, is when you start off with earnings, with a salary, and you work for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, to say, I'm not doing again is hard. Because the first thing that comes to your mind is you've budgeted your months. You are used to a process, you're used to a flow. So for you to say, I want to leave it, your comfort zone, which is the hardest thing for people to do, shift your comfort zone and start something else. The other, okay, I'm just okay for now. You give yourself all the excuses. And remember, excuses are valid. Oh, they're not employing. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, there's no work in the market. Oh, I can't get the amount I'm looking for. Oh, the job that's available, I'm not as qualified. All the excuses you tell yourself, very valid. And it will help you because as human beings, by default, the body, right, will protect itself first. That's how it works before the brain kicks in. The body protects itself. So once the body sees that there's a challenge coming, first thing it does is shuts down, it protects yourself. So when it protects you, the brain now kicks in afterwards. They said the brain kicks in about 1.3 seconds after the body has already acted. And that's why if somebody wants to slap you, before you think about the slap, your hand has gone there. The body protects itself first, right? So I put it from that perspective. So somebody that is listening, I would say, listen to your voice. What is it telling you? Now we'll delve back into it. Do a SWOT of yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your threats? Find out what your strengths and your opportunities are. Which ones are louder? And if you're not so sure, go over again, talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues, talk to your family members that know you. By the time you ask them the same questions, almost like you're taking a test with a Johari window, right? A Johari model. What you do is you check which one ticks out, right? And then once you get it right, you see that there will be some similarities across board. I could use myself as an example. When I went into the IT and I started off, interestingly, I realized that where I've started is not where I'm going to. I'm not enjoying it as much as I wanted to enjoy it, right? So I went into consultancy, that's business consultancy. And there was the first time I had the first discussion with my dad. He got bless his soul. After service, I never asked him for anything again. I just sat down. So at times you see me, I'm on my own. I don't do anything. And I'll be wondering, you call, what's going on? He says you go and do some things, I'll wait. They sent me to go and do some things, I'll wait. Then one day he came, was upset. He said, I've been telling you to go and do these things. Why haven't you gone yet? I said, no, Dad, I think we need to talk. He said, talk. This was, I remember it was like in 2023 or so. So in 2003 or so, 2003, 2004. He said, I said, we need to talk. I said, what? I said, yes. He said, no problem, I should come. So I remember he was sitting down in his living room, and I went and I sat down with him. I said, let me tell you something. I'll tell you a story of my life. And this was when I had the one-on-one discussion with my dad. I'm sure my dad's jaw dropped when I was telling him. I told him every single thing about me. when I was in primary school, secondary school, the crushes I had, the girls I was dating, as in I went that explicit. He kept quiet. He's a lovely listener. He was listening to me. And then I went into university. I told him about the lady I was dating and how I was planning to get married. He kept looking. I told him how I went for service and how I planned never to come back to his house again. And he was shocked. And then I told him as I'd finished service, I promised myself I wasn't going to take a dime from him again. And he was shocked. And then I now told him how I'd planned my life out. Because when I looked at the whole sphere, I said, okay, what I wanted to do is I wanted to start with customer care because I realized two things. People and communication was very, very key to success. So I said the best way to get this blend was to work in customer service interfacing. So that way I get to know people, get to know their nuances, get to know how people react under pressure. Then from there, moving to marketing and sales because I knew that whatever product you sell, whatever product you have, you need to learn how to sell it and sell it well, right, in the right market. Then after that, moving to business analysis. Then when I move into business analysis, then I go understand how business, the dynamics of business work, and then I go establish my business and blew from there. He looked at me and said, now this is why I have not gone where you sent me. I never wanted to ask you for any money. I wanted to make my money first. So in as much as I could go, I just couldn't because I had not made any money and I could not move, you know. That day he looked at me. I never seen that look in my dad's eye. And I always advise any young man that's still in their father's house, have that talk with your dad. Because that is when things will change. I remember from that day, my dad never looked at me as a boy again. For some funny reason, I saw a different part of him. He came into my room, handed me a wad of cash, and said, whenever I need anything, I should call him. Whenever I need, I should ask. I said, thank you, sir. He gave me the car keys. He said, that is your car. Whenever you want to go out, you can use it. I said, okay. I said, thank you, sir. Then the work started. I'm bringing this back so you can understand where we're going to for the person that was thinking of where they're going to start from. And then it started. I called my friend up and said, guys, see what's going on.
Oh,
See what's
that
going
too.
Come again. I didn't get that. He said,
I said you mesmerized your own dad. You
oh,
mesmerized
yes,
him. Like,
definitely. He was shocked. He was shocked. And then he started. I called my friend and said, guys, see what has happened. He said, you told him? I said, yes, I told him. He said, even that stuff? I said, I told him everything. He said, okay. I said, but guess what? We now have a ride. We can move. And from then on, we started doing small businesses, buy and sell here. So we make some profits, go and buy suits, buy cakes, so make some profits, buy fuel in the car, and they'll now go around and be serving our CVs around the place. Right? So we're doing it together. We buy products, sell. He was into bakery. His name is Femi, great guy. He'll bake, we'll go to schools, sell the cakes, make some profits, push it, buy fuel, then go and sell our CVs wide. So we did that for a while until things started stabilizing. And my dad was just watching me. At times he would come in and just look at me. He just give me money. He knows I'll not ask. He just come, just look at me and just give me. But I made sure I never asked him again. And then I got the first job. First place, I said I couldn't sit down again. So he understood. Interestingly, that's when he now started asking me, what do you want to do? Then there was this friend of ours, he had a cafe. So I went to work with him for free of charge. All I just needed to do was turn up. So I got there, and people will not understand this part because of how it was. I will walk, right? Take a bus, then walk. And this walk I'm talking about is like a 30-minute walk. I don't know. I think my head has been in the air for so long. I just didn't want to ask. But it taught me discipline. It taught me how to wake up early. It taught me how to turn up for work. It taught me how to be dedicated. And it taught me how to earn my own, right? So when I was there, the guy I was working with was looking at me because he was trying to understand why I would come and be working with him. It was not adding up for him, right? It just was not adding up for him. I was wondering, why would I come and work? The thing was, I just wanted to get out of the house. Imagine coming out from Lagos. So I did that. After a while, I got my first job. And interestingly, it was the same thing. I was walking, I went to see a friend of mine doing something similar, and this gentleman entered. I was asking about football. I don't watch football. So I saw the screen. For the funny reason that day, I just paid attention and I just watched. When he came in and he asked, I just told him everything. I said, oh, this was what was happening. This is what was happening. This was the goals I was scored. This person scored this goal and everything. So, oh, that's nice. He said, young man, what do you do? I said, well, I belong to the largest institution in Nigeria. He said, which institution is that? I said, the largest organization in Nigeria. And he said, which organization is that? I said, the organization of the unemployed. Can I bring my CV? I'm looking for work, sir. He busted out laughing. I said, you know what? Come and see me in my office. And that's how I got the first. Let me say the second one. He said, really? I said, the second one's in my office. And that's where I started. So at times, right, when you're thinking about what to do, it has whispered to you, but you have not taken the initiative. In my dad's case, I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't know how to do it. But I also knew that I needed leverage, I needed space, I needed the autonomy. So I knew that for my dad, he also had his PhD. I knew one thing he needed to hear was he needed to see a direct plan. So somebody has been telling me, tell this man, but you know there's some things you don't want to tell him. There's some things you know that he should go with you to the grave. But for some funny reason, my intuition told me that talk to him, let him know. And I'll tell you, that was the biggest shift that happened for me. And when I go to work, I come back late. At times I come back like 11. And guess who is awake? My dad is awake waiting for me. I was awake. I was surprised. I had my apartment, but he would still be there. He would be there to open the door for me. I was like, at one point in time, I was wondering what was happening. My mom would go and sleep. You know, she said, this young man, you can handle yourself. Because my mom always had that thing about me. She said, you always sort yourself out. But my dad would always wait. And we'll talk about the business, talk about, because it was a consultancy firm, talk about the business, talk about how the day was and everything. And we'll run through, rub minds. I was feeling really nice, right? And then after that, I moved to telecoms. And for some funny reason, I always knew that I was going to go into telecoms. For some funny reason, I just knew it. So when the opportunity came, applied, I got it, and I moved in. And here's where I'll tell everybody. This is another part. It also ties back to listening to your intuition and when you're stuck in a place. I knew I needed to expand. I knew I needed to earn more. I knew I needed to grow. And I also knew the sector I wanted to go to. So it has been there. And also now as a coach, right, there's a way you have and work your energy. You will learn that. Thank God for the where we learned, as Grace so mentioned in Orca. Our coach is fantastic. He's he's the pioneer coach in Nigeria, life coach. That's Dr. Larry Lushola. And he had this program, the QMMP, that's the Quantum Manifestation Master Program, right? Where you learn your energies. And that was when I understood what was happening. I summoned the role, and I got it. And guess the role? Customer care. Just how I wanted it. How I manifested it from the beginning, just exactly how I told my dad. 2 years after that, guess what happened? I moved into marketing. Just how I manifested it. Working in that role in different categories and already in different spheres also manifested into business analysis. And guess what I'm doing? Right now, consultant, a life coach, an executive life coach, everything all tied into it. So from the beginning, we already knew the end. But the truth is, once it whispers to you, most times we don't listen. You always ask yourself, am I sure? Am I good? But it's right there. EJ, for example, knew her power was in her voice, right? In as much of the negative press that was going out, but she knew her power was in her voice. The moment she embraced it, what happened? Right? So that's just what we are talking about. So it whispers to you, you know it's there, but you're just afraid to take it. So for the person that is listening in today, listen in your quiet time. What's a whisper? It's not shouting, it's telling you. It's telling you exactly what you need to do. And when I was in this quest, on this path, right, I was listening more and asking more questions. I asked people, I said, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think I'm good at? What do you think I'm good at? Right? And that led me to Toastmasters. Interestingly, Grace, that's what led me to Toastmasters. Somebody told me about communication, and then Warren Buffett also mentioned that. So I had to join Toastmasters to learn that. And when I joined, I decided to get to the top. So when I get to the top, I now understand how it works and the power of communication, right? And then the second part was leadership. Okay, leadership, how does that work? And it was a combination of both. Tying it back to your career path, once you can communicate clearly, that is more or less like the tar, the road, the bridge to everything you need in life, right? Let me drop it here and then pick it up from there. Let me drop it here.
My goodness. Gracie, are you with us? Oh my goodness.
You're scratching the
So
surface.
good.
You're
Hey,
scratching surface.
you are scratching surface like this. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, please stop. Tell me to stop smiling. Grace, please go ahead. My smile is interjecting my words.
And it's contagious too, right?
I hope, can you hear me? I just
Yes,
I wanted to switch my
very
ISP,
well.
my internet
Very well.
service provider. Okay, so good thing you can hear me. All right. I mean, again, you have mesmerized us with your storytelling skills and how you touched on key points. I heard you talk about discipline and how you were able to. So let me just quickly talk about somebody. Again, because the goal, and if you're just joining us, you're watching this
Oh, she has
Oh,
a
did she
lovely
just
smile right now.
freeze? Oh my gosh. Don't
conversation is
freeze,
centered
girl.
around career, because
Okay.
we know very well that
Unfreeze. Gracie, you have
our
to take it
career,
again. You
what we
froze?
do, is a major part of our life as human beings. And
Okay.
okay, I don't know why this thing is turning. EJ, if you can hear me, please let me know you can hear me.
Yeah, we can now. You froze at some point, but you're back now. Can you hear me now, Gracie? Okay, so Gracie's network is wobbly, so bear with us. She's going to be back in a jiffy. While we wait for Grace to get back, like honestly, I love how you tell stories. First of all, bah, I think those must be a good job. Well done.
Yes, you can say that again.
But Well, honestly, I love it. And even somebody has attested to that in the comment section saying, wow, I love your jump hunt story, Mr. Abdulrahim. Beautiful,
Thank
beautiful
you.
story. And I love how you stuck with the intuition thing and how you were able to have that conversation with your dad that just shifted it. And I mean, as you said it to people who are listening or watching right now, to say, see, you need to have that conversation. And this time it might not be with your dad, it might be with your mom, it might be with your partner, like your spouse, but key stakeholders in your life, just to let them know that, see, there is something I'm seeing here that you cannot see, right? And helping them see it would shift a lot. I just love how your story connects, like how you knew intuitively that people and communications are key to success. And for me, that's all I see in all the stories you've told, right? Because it's in the person, your dad, and your communication with him, letting him know, like, Pops, you brought me up well. Let me tell you that. See, you did a good job. But in case you don't know, let me highlight it to you that you have trained a young man with a good head on his neck, sir. But let me tell you, you were able to communicate, and that shifted his respect for you. Like, I'm sure he was proud. I'm sure he's still proud, even though he's no longer with us. I'm sure he's smiling down again. That's my son. I'm proud of you. So thank you for sharing that story. And as
Yes,
you
thank you
spoke to
very
that
much.
person who is in between, that decision to make. Now, say they've listened to the intuition and they can hear it, but they lack the courage and audacity and language. You know, there is a way you know what you want to say, but it's like, I don't know how to express it. So I want you to tap into your communication prowess to talk to that person. How can they, especially when it comes, and this will cut across with the career conversation we're having, being that whether that conversation or that, that communication is going to be within the workspace, saying, for example, I know I am due for a shift, for a promotion, but some people just cannot find that courage and boldness or audacity to have that conversation. What are some 1, 2, 3 steps based on your experience and your story and the things you know now about communication that you can share with them to help them take that first step in that direction to say, I know what I want. I know what I want to say. I just don't know how to word it or package it to express themselves. Are you able to help?
Okay, brilliant. What you said is very, very critical, and it actually affects a wide range of people, right? They do the first step. They know they need to change. They're not sure, but how do they start? And the first level I will always say is, and I always use this in my programs, which is start with yourself. Know thyself. Know yourself first. Who are you? Grace said something when I was introducing myself, where we started before going into the regulars. I try to dissociate myself from titles because that's not who I am. The moment you dissociate yourself from titles, you appreciate the value of who you are and how God has blessed you. For those of us that believe, you know, that there is a God. And it's very simple. The moment you remove yourself from a position, the moment you remove yourself from a title and you hang on your own, you realize that most people are around you because of what they can get, because of the position you occupy, because of the rank that you have attained. And they're just identifying with that. The moment that doesn't exist again, you are useless. And I'll say that people like themselves way more than they like you. Two, they don't like you as much as you think they like you. Three, if they had an option to choose between themselves and you, they would choose themselves 9 out of 10 times. In short, 9.9 times out of 10 times. So the moment you realize that that is the way the world works, you take more intentional actions towards yourself and identifying who you are. So for that person that is trying, first off, talk to yourself. Strip yourself of all the accolades. I'm a mother. People like that. I'm a mother of three, right? That's not you. That's a role. I'm a sister. That's not you. That's a role. I am the managing director. That's not you. That's a role. All right. By the time you can remove all these things and actually use things that are relatable, when you remove all these things, who are you? What makes you unique? What makes you you? Identify that. Then I need to go into coaching to get this one right. All right. Because it's war with us. There's a process where we refer to it as the neurological level of change, whereby you need to process. There are 7 levels, 6 levels to be precise. You process yourself from the basic environment. Where are you? What are you thinking? What are the things influencing you? What influenced you growing up? What are the things that are piling on you? What environment are you going? Who are the friends around you? What are your influences? And that now comes into what influenced your behavior. What kind of behavior do you have? What are the things you're tending to do? What are the habits you have picked up? And this behavior now taps into your capabilities. What are you capable of? What do you know? What are you good at? What are your resources? And once you understand how this works, it taps back into your belief systems. What are your beliefs? What are your principles? Do you believe that only the rich survive? Do you believe that without tribe or religion, you cannot grow? And that will now craft you into your identity. You now identify who you are as an individual. How do you define yourself? What is the tag you've given yourself, superficially or deliberately or unconsciously? And that now unveils you to what your actual mission is. So, what your mission in life is, which is greater than your life's purpose. And if you've read this book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, you realize that at the end of the day, surviving the camp, the concentration camp, was not human, so to say. It was a mental exercise. And the thought of what he could do outside the camp was what kept him alive. So it's not about him being a doctor. It's not about him being a man. It goes back here. So when you go through this neurological level of change and you understand who you are and identify, go through the process to identify what your actual mission in life is, thereby finding out your goal, then it makes it easier for you to segue. And saying it, and that's why I tied it back to the story, right? My intuition of what I wanted to be. Spelling it out over 20 years ago, and then living through the process, and then coming back into coaching. And I also like to thank Sam Obafemi. He does the octopus. He was one that said, Rahim, come and do coaching. He said, just come. So I always give him the accolades for it. So whatever I do, I always like to acknowledge him for that. He saw it and said, no, Rahim, you need to come and do this. And going through that process and coming out in coaching and understanding how it works is phenomenal. Because you just realize that everybody, you can't be what you can't see. You can't get what you can. I can put it this way, right? If you want to build a house, you say you want to build a house, what would be your frame of reference?
The
Type of
plan.
houses you have seen. Yeah, the type of houses you have seen. So
Yeah.
based on the houses you have seen, you want to build a house. So if you want to build a house and you don't know what a house looks like, how would you build a house? Right? You want to build a house, maybe everybody says 3-bedroom, you know, you need to have a parlor, a sitting room, 3 bedrooms, a kitchen. That's what you know, right? And somebody else says, is that a house or is that a chalet? Is that the boys' quarters? And now, what do you mean? This is my dream home. What do you mean? Well, that person was born as a prince into a palace. So the only idea of what a house is to him is a palace. So when he's designing a house, and you are designing a house, so if you're both design houses, but you're designing from different frames of reference. So you cannot do what you cannot see, what you're not exposed to. It will not come to you. So first off, expand your horizon. Don't think you know. Don't think you're everywhere. Always remember that there's always an opportunity for growth. So for that person thinking of where to start, remember that you don't know it all, right? Then go to the neurological level of process of change or neurological levels of change and identify what your mission is. What is that thing that is pulling you? So the moment you realize that, that's when you appreciate the fact that you really do not know. And it's not a bad thing, right? I always say this regularly. If I don't know, oh, sorry, I don't know. Now I've learned. A lot of people find it difficult to agree that they do not know and they are still learning. They see it as an embarrassment. They see it as a right. So learns. And the moment right.
Is this me or is this audio breaking?
Okay.
I think it's from him. If you can hear me, that's
Okay.
it. Can you hear me? If you can
All
hear
right.
me,
Rahim, your video and audio is frozen at the moment. So we'll wait for you to get back shortly. Oh, okay. You're back. You're back now. I think we can hear you. We can see you now. Can you hear
your
me?
frame of reference.
Or is this me?
He's no, I can hear you. I can hear you. I think he's back, but maybe
Yes.
it's still
Okay.
rolling. Okay, all right.
Okay. You're
Right.
back now. Okay.
I have to switch. I came
You know,
prepared.
there are some
That's what
comments. EJ, can you see
that's
some comments? You know, maybe they can
Yes,
talk.
and
I
I'm
don't know.
responding. And I'm responding. Yes.
okay.
Okay, okay.
I came prepared. I got like three networks waiting. So as one is saying hello, we are switching. We are prepared, don't worry. Those village
Oh my
people, we know
God.
you are coming, so we are waiting for you, don't worry.
Love it. Love, love, love it. Wow. I mean, I just love the things you just shared about, the neurological stages of change and knowing yourself and, understanding that is just the first step. If you understand that, then you'll be able to communicate your essence, your goal to other people. And that's just, see, know thyself and to thyself be
Yes.
true. Know thyself and to yourself be true. I love it. I love it. Grace, sorry about your network. You wanted to say something. Please go for it. As we're
Yes,
getting closer.
when you
Yeah.
talked about, and I think hey, there's a lot to. I've not even touched the questions I have, and we've gone so far already. And I love how you're. So this is how you know someone that is deep. You know, so subtle, just like our last guest. So, dropping
Bombs,
nuggets,
bombs,
bombs,
missiles.
boom, 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 missiles in a subtle way. I love it. I absolutely love it. Particularly, so this is the question I want to ask you because I think it makes sense to me and I understand that part. But there's someone out there, there are people watching this, there are people that will watch this maybe 20 years from now, and they would be like, oh wow, this is it. When it comes to the framework, the illustration you just gave, the example of if a prince wants to build a house and if an ordinary person wants to build a house, I mean, they'll start from what they've envisioned, what they've imagined, and what they've seen. Now, because we're talking career and we're talking about how people, because I was saying something before I network threw me out, which is the case of what you do really is very important as a human being. Your work, that thing that keeps you alive, that you go to, you're happy about, is very key. It's very, very important. As a matter of fact, psychologically, people are drawn into depression when they are not optimizing who they are and what they're about. So they tend to go into depression. So the question I have for you now to particularly help someone is what are the things that they need to do practically to take them away from, thinking small and even because from your story, you were able to build and you're living the life that you built. Some people are not so intuitive, or maybe they don't pay attention. First, two questions. How do you build your intuition so that you can recognize the voice that is really coming from you and not the noise? With social media now, you hear people saying different things, and how do you build yourself to a point where you can know that this voice is from you, not from the outside world? And secondly, how can someone build their, themselves to a point where they can imagine and actually, or they will need to pay for that? Whatever the case is, let's hear it, please.
Owning your voice, right?
Mm.
Building your voice. If I get that's the essence of the first question, right? Let me see. Let me adjust this my mid-degree cap. Thank you to my brothers.
It
You
be like
know,
saying that can't be wisdom day. Please put it on very well.
I say oil in your head. So let's put it this way. I always like to start subtle. It's not hard. We try to look for the quick fix, the quick fix, so to say. What is the data? What's the analytics? What has this person said? What has that person done? But the truth is, it starts from contentment. I'll break it down. We're all seated in our different locations, Buja, Maiduguri, Dubai, as the case may be. Where you are, you're seated, probably in your office, probably in your studio, and guess what's happening? We're all communicating, right? You have your laptops, your mobile devices, your hotspots, your comfortable chairs, in some cases, for your back, specially designed for your back. If you know what I mean. Proper lighting, on StreamYard, and we're all doing very well. Okay, communicating. But then, in addition, we can see each other, we can laugh, right? You can even check out the style of my cap, the style of your hair, you know, change our backgrounds too. All that effortlessly without thinking. But one major thing is this: how often are we grateful for what we have? How often are you grateful for what we have? We have this. How many people are grateful for what they have as against chasing what they don't have? They usually say what you have, right? Once you're thankful for what you have, then opportunities for others start opening up to you. But in most cases, we are living in the past or in the future. We are not living in the present enough. So in order to find your voice, find out where you are first. What's your present? And the reason why I say this, it has come up several times. You're holding up to a past relationship that hurt you, right? And you're holding on to the past relationship. Because you're holding on to the past relationship, you cannot see the future and you cannot appreciate the fact that you're alive. You are not beaten. You survived it, but you're holding on to the pain and the grief and how you want to revenge. Then the person right in front of you that is taking care of you, you cannot see that that is your next relationship that has God has sent your way. But you're still dwelling on what has left, what is in the past. The person that treated you like dirt. How you're going to revenge, how you're directing all your energy there. And all the things available to you in the present, you've let it be. You let it go. Or you're looking for a job as career, I'm going to put it that way. You're looking for a job in the future. This job that I'm doing, I don't like it. They're not paying me well. They don't value me. You need to get another one. You're chasing that one, but you're forgetting that the job you are doing, have you put in your 120% on it? Are you the best at what you do? Have you gotten recognition for the job you're doing, the transformation you have made? No, you're chasing the future. So in order to find your voice, where you are in the present, own it first. Stop chasing what you don't have and stop chasing what you have left behind. Be present. Be present. So once you can attain this level of clarity in the present, knowing fully well that this your present is the future of yesterday and it is the yesterday of tomorrow, you'll be very deliberate about what you do in the present because your present creates your tomorrow, and your present creates your past. So how do you remember it? A good illustration I'll give is when anybody is getting married and they come to meet me and they want to get married, first thing I tell them is this: on that day, don't stress yourself. They say, what do you mean? I said, don't stress yourself. The food did not arrive on time. Don't bother yourself. Tell your best man or bridesmaid to go and take care of it. The DJ is not playing the right music. Don't bother. Don't disturb yourself. The Asherebi did not arrive in time, but they're not sitting in the right place. Don't disturb yourself. Somebody else should handle it. Right? The MC did not recognize your mother's father-in-laws from the office side of your cousin brother. Don't disturb yourself. Just remember on that day, that is your wedding day. Tomorrow, how do you want to remember yesterday when you got married? Do you want to remember it as you pulling your dress up, running to the kitchen, running to go make sure they serve this person, running over the place without having a clear memory of you sitting down with your spouse? That yes, this is our day. But you're calculating every other thing that is working and is not working well. I always tell them, blank every other person. Don't think about the other person. You and your spouse, that is where your world is. Anything that is going around, let this roof be falling down. Just be there with your spouse and be cracking your jokes and be having fun. And everybody will be wondering that, what is wrong with these people? At the end of the day, they'll say that, don't mind why we're there killing ourselves. These people were just having fun. They were so much in love. And by the time you get back home and you now remember all the atrocities that happened, if it happens, you'll be happy you valued that time together. So in order to have a good memory, right, be intentional of your presence, capture it properly. So imagine your wedding, right? You focused your wedding on all the distractions of the world, and you could not enjoy that day. Your guests could not enjoy you. Then in the future, and you remember your husband, you remember your wife, you'll be hating the person because it will automatically become their fault. It's because of you this happens, because of you. Nobody else to blame. And every other person, they have eaten their rice. That's how they say it. That's smoky jollof rice. They've had their smoky jollof rice and they have gone home. So who's the next person for you to blame? It's your spouse. So take that with your life too. Be present. Own it. Live it. So tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, you can look back to yesterday and know that, yes, you lived it properly. So that's how you get your voice. Be contented. Be grateful. Offer gratitude daily, right? You're thankful for the air you breathe. Thankful for the data you have. Thankful for your spouse. Thank you for your children. Thankful for your siblings. Thankful for the grass that you can walk on. If you have a car that you can drive, thankful for the moments you can actually look out and see the sun. Once you're thankful for these things and you offer great gratitude for what you have, then you now go back inwards and now say, okay, what are my potentials? God has blessed me with understanding of the system. How can I use this system to push my career forward? Oh, let me work on my CV. Let me be more intentional about my CVs. Where do I need to place it? Then you now start seeing the potentials that you have, but you did not realize because you've now gone inwards and you're present with yourself, right? So once you get that clarity, now move to the second level, which you said your imagination. Once you are now fully present, right, you now have the permission to think wide because you're contented in your space. So by default, your imagination comes through. As Steve Harvey always brings that, I think it's in the Bible, he brought it out. The imagination is the preview of life's coming attraction, right? Imagination is the preview of life's coming attraction. And that's just it. For everything you imagine, and I say this, take it to the bank. Whatever you think about, whatever you envision, you can do it. I'll take it again. Whatever you think about, whatever you envision, you can do it. That is why the thought came to you. In most cases, when it comes to you, you are scared. You undervalue yourself. You have not valued yourself. And then you don't live up to that potential. But the moment you embrace it, it has happened to me several times. I'll take it with career, for example. Let me use career. Since that's the topic we're talking of, right? At one point in time, my former organization, I told myself that, man, it's enough. I told my wife, babe, I'm resigning. I said, no. I said, babe, I'm resigning. Maybe for the next 6 months, we'll drink Gary. For those of our international guests, when you say Gary, that means when you go to the lowest of low. Say, I just told her, don't worry, maybe for some time we'll drink Gary. But it's rich in cassava, lovely, especially when you have all the condiments that are coming now. You have Gary with ice, with milk, with granules, with kuli.
That one is premium Gary. It's still, I love premium Gary. They serve that in restaurants nowadays.
Thank you. So I told her that we may need to get there for a while, but I need to change my environment. I said, okay, no problem. Lovely woman, God bless her. Right? And then I said, we're going to do that. I said, okay, no problem. And then I remember it was supposed to be in December. I said, we're going to go in December. Then I remembered, bonuses were to come in February. I said, so no, bonuses were to come in March. I said, if I leave in December, these guys may do 1 or 2 and I won't get my bonus. So working the whole year, I said, okay, you know what happened? I'll wait till March and then I'll leave. So at least let me get my full package before I leave. Guess what happened? An interview came up in February, right? And because I tuned out that this was what I was going to do, I just told myself, what capacity do I have? And I started volunteering for anything in the organization because I knew I was going. So I said, what? I might as well do every other thing. There was this particular unit that was failing, going down, right? It was, you touch it, your career will go down. That's how bad it was. So nobody was going there. So I had this meeting, senior management. I said, this is our problem. I just raised a mind. I said, I'll do it. I remember your colleague that I said, Rahim, are you mad? Why do you want to go there? I said, I'll do it. He didn't know why I said I was doing it because I knew that I was backing up. But I just knew that one of the things I read during that period was volunteer for more things and expose yourself. So I took the most difficult one, and that's how I've always been working. I always look for the difficult things. That's where I get comfortable. Right? When it's too easy, where's the fun? When it's complex and hard, then enough it gets fun. So I took it off. And within a month, within a month, I sanitized the units. By the following month, we were number one in the country. I tell that again. By the following month, that was 2 months, we were number one in the country. Other states were calling to find out, what are you guys doing? What is going on? What is going on? And you just realize that excuses are valid, right? I asked my team, and this framework can work for everybody. Nobody has to pay for this one. We'll give it to you free. I told them, write everything. What are the issues? They said there are plenty things that we have this. I said, just write everything down. So I started writing it on the board. I called everybody in the unit. We had a meeting. I started writing it. I said, what else? Everything they said, I was writing it. If it was a duplication, I said, this is a duplication. We wrote everything. So I wrote everything down. I said, is that all? They said, yes. I said, you know what I'm going to do? All I want is three issues here. Just give me three. What are the three major challenges? They said, but see how plenty it is. I said, let's go through it. So we started eliminating. I said, if we don't fix this one, will anything happen to the business? They said no. So we strike it off. So let's go to this one. If we treat this one, will this one solve out? Will this one be treated? They said yes. So we started striking out. So we go to the three fundamental challenges, and then we tackle those three. Right there, while they were complaining, I called IT. I said, what's the challenge? This is the major challenge they're facing. He said, nobody has told him now. Right there, before we finished the meeting, one major challenge was sorted out. Right there in the meeting. So I said, so what's the problem? So we finished everything, only three challenges. By the time we're done, it was done. We're number one in the country. Remember, I just volunteered. Other factors started coming up. I was just volunteering, doing things. But guess what? As I was doing that, I was exposing myself. People were seeing me, People were wondering that I was wrong with Rahim these days, And guess what happened? The promotion came in, and then I was moved. Ideally, I should be very happy that, oh yes, I got a promotion, but it was long overdue. So when he came in, I just told my boys immediately, I said, I'm not staying here for long. They said, what's wrong? I said, no, I'm not staying here for long. As far as I was concerned, this promotion I have gotten it already. I was already acting that capacity. Because something I usually do, and I also put this out for those in employment, is this. When you're working, you don't just do your work and your boss's work. So that way, you save him the time to think. So before he thinks about the job he wants to do, you have done it already. Before he thinks about what he wants to do, you have done it. So you become a resource. And what happens in that case is you are building yourself in the process. So that is one out of the bag. Don't take your job description, and that's always my way. I take my job description and my line manager's job description, and then I'll be doing the two together. So before you ask any question, okay, that is easy, we got it right. The next one you do, it may sound like work, but guess what? Who is learning? Who is gaining? Who is the referral going to? Who is the mail trail starting from? Who is building in the process? So that's where we now come to the process of imagination and understanding yourself. Once you understand the grind, what the work is about, you will grow. Then you're now going to the imagination. Like I said, once you got in the present, you know exactly where you're going to, because you've centered in on yourself, right? Then you've now agreed that you're in the present, you value your present moment, and then you grow. People will see there's this Ghanaian proverb, right? They said that you can't spray perfume on yourself without it spilling on other people. You put on perfume, you enter a room. Obviously, the perfume will go around. People that are around you will perceive it, and it's nice. So it can't be very good. You can't be good in isolation. People will know and they will talk about you, and your goodness will spread. Right? So when you're that good in the organization, people know. And when it came up, I said, sorry, I can't stay. I don't think I'll stay for long. I didn't stay 1 year in a row. And I'll tell you two things that happened. I was very clear. I knew what I wanted to do. And then also, this may amaze you. I said that I told my people, I just tell them this story, that when I saw what I was earning, I was like, no, this is not it. So you need to double this. I remember going to the director and I was asking him, I said, how can I make this amount of money? He said, Rahim, you can never make this level. I said, no, I said, serious, this is what I want to earn. He said, Rahim, let me tell you, in your life here, it will not work. So you know what happened? Interestingly, and that's me just getting a role. I just got promoted. I said, okay. I said, that's the situation. I said, if I'm going to do the work to get this marginal increment, why not double it? So imagine the marginal increment I was looking at. I said, it will be the same stress I used to get a marginal increment. Why don't I double it? So I doubled it and I put my target. I remember writing the dates down and I put the target there. When I wrote it down, my heart was heavy with fear. You know, when you see the zeros, you'll be wondering. But guess what? The truth is this. When you set your eye on the ball, your goal is very clear. And that's something we teach in coaching. And you have a clear plan, which a coach will help you do. You will achieve it. You'll achieve it. The truth is, most times we are scared of it. We are scared of the goal. But I always say this, if your goal does not scare you, you have not started, you're just dreaming. If your goal does not scare you, you just started, you're just dreaming. You're still dreaming. When you do your goal and be like, hey, Grace, hey, what did I do? You know? Or you write it down and you just look at it again. When you finish writing, you just say, EJ, behave yourself. Thank you. That's when you have started. That's when you know that, okay, yes, because you have challenged yourself. Your body is no more comfortable. You have done something that has challenged your physiology, right? And then your body starts going to work. And that is where your voice comes to life and your imagination starts building because you have given yourself permission.
Wow. Ẹ dákun mọ ọ̀rọ̀ mọ díìpù. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ ṣàánú wa o, ẹ dẹ̀ ṣàánú wa.
This depth is like a well far.
We are scratching the surface.
What?
We are scratching it. We are scratching it.
Kisa, please just tell us how people can work with you as a coach, because I think that's the next level. Because with all this nugget already, come on now. Grace, talk about this, because let's say my voice have gone.
You know, and I mean, you can tell, you know, I don't know about you right now. If you're watching this and you're looking, this one is not, you know, there's one way to say something and there's another way that will be like, nah, talk. You can tell when you see someone that can take you from where you are to the next level. I guarantee you. You know, me, I was already saying in my head, I need to book a session with. And then, you know, to confirm something that you said, that value, our last guest said it differently, but you have just confirmed it. That value doesn't hide itself. You can, except you're not doing something, value does not hide itself. And you just confirmed it, that if you have a perfume on and you go into a room, I mean, everyone in that room would be able to tell that, this lady smells so well. And with that said, if you need a coach, an executive coach, and you know, I'm going to even let you talk about, you know, I joined your book club, and it was the ice water effect for me. I mean, I read a lot, but because of what I've been doing, it's been really hard. But the last week on Tuesday, let me allow you to talk about your tribe and also tell us, tell whoever is going to watch this later how they can reach you and how they can join your community. Please take it away.
Well, thank you very much. You know, before I talk about that, I just need to drop something, just something that came up too, and I think it's also very fundamental at this point. You know, as human beings, especially those that are either pushing your career or pushing your business, you're trying to get better. Remember something: you are not a tree. You are not a tree. Trees will be in one place for 25 years. We are human beings. We are meant to grow. We are meant to move. Move, right? People may not see you where you are, but because you are in your comfort zone, your value is not being recognized as it should be. So, in some cases, especially when you realize that your environment is toxic, move. You're not getting what you want, move. You're not getting the recognition you believe you desire, move. And the movement will come in different parts. It could be physical movement from one location to another location. It could be from your current employment to another employment. It could be from your current profession. You segue into another profession. It could be your family moving from one location to another location. It could be a relationship. But just remember, with these insights we have shared from the beginning, just remember you're not a tree. Your umbilical cord was not buried in one spot. All right. And at the same time, you don't need a committee rather, to kill a snake. One decision is all it takes. And that's where the company comes out. Take one decision in every matter and you'll be shocked. That's what will help you. So while you're taking that one decision, remember to take just one decision to join the exclusive mentorship program tribe on Clubhouse. We meet every Tuesdays where we review the best-selling books, right? And we don't just talk about the books. We don't just read it. We come in and we have a review. Everybody comes, you can lend your voice. If it's one page you have read, come up. Use it to test your communication skills. Come up. Raise your hand. We'll bring you up to the stage and you can actually speak. So we review the books, relate it to our experiences in a fun and loving environment, and we have fantastic people too that are also supporting it. The whole idea is to encourage people to read. My journey started from books. All right, my journey where I am today started from books. I could give that's another story on it. So a friend of mine that I don't want to use the word scammed me, but he used books as bait, right? He used books as bait. And guess what? I took a big bite and I've been hooked for the past 25 years, right? So I bless him. That's Tunji Olarewaju. Took a bait. So we review books every Tuesdays on Clubhouse, and it came out from a program that I run. It's called the Exclusive Mentorship Program. I realized over time, just like the example I gave, you can't build what you don't have, right? And that's what happened here, in the sense that we know, or rather we have an idea where we want to go to, but we have not found the right people to guide us through the process, right? And once you don't have the right people to guide you through the process, in most cases you believe it's not possible, so you don't even try. For a long time, I looked for mentors, trying to get the best person. I got a lot of people across, and I got them from books. But physically, the closest ones that I got, because I'm very, very African, I like that culture. I like that tradition. I got two people eventually, Vusi Tembekwayo and the catalyst himself, Larry Lushola. And the truth is, my head, I don't go the natural path. So I didn't want somebody that was just straight jacket, somebody that will come and tell me about religion, somebody that is just holy, somebody that just likes walk, somebody that just sit at home, or somebody that just outgoing. I need somebody that has been there, done that, had tap, 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 tap. And at the same time, was a force to reckon with. And they fitted it. And also understand the African culture, the environment, right? So that helped me. And I created the course, exclusive mentorship program, for people to subscribe. The first cohort was virtually free, virtually free. In the past 2 years, it has grown. And now, what we do in the cohort is you come in and you come in, you leave different. An interesting part about it is how you come in, or rather, what you come in for is what you leave with. I've had people that have come in, right? They were not sure of their direction and they had clarity in their directions. I had a friend that didn't know how much he was earning when he joined the program. By the time he came out, before the end of the program, he said he wanted to resign from his current job. I said, guy, calm down, don't rush. I said, guy, calm down, don't rush. By the time he was done, he had reorganized his businesses and he realized that what he was making was incredible. I had somebody that was dealing with confidence. By the time the person was done with the program, the course came out, and the person is a confidence coach. I have another person that joined in and wasn't so sure about the potential. But after one session, because you also get a free coaching session with me, that's a bonus. Get one free coaching session. The person, when I had that session with the person, I could see something different. The person went from a project manager to number one in the country, heading the organization. I said, your potential is much. And guess, it happened. I had another person. In short, there were different stories. I don't like talking about it. I like people to see themselves and experience it. Now it's the next cohort was to have happened in September, but my schedule, like Grace mentioned, was very tight. But the next one will be coming up very soon. Join Clubhouse, join the tribe, and then you'll be able to know when the next one comes up. And I'll tell you, it's a transformative experience. I always nudge people to learn to think. That is just the major challenge we have. Thinking is heavy, it is hard. Test it. Somebody around you say, okay, please, I need to buy 3 bags of maybe a bottle of water and then 3 bottles of another brand of water. How many is that? Guess what they will do? They bring out their phone and bring out the calculator to type 1+1+3. It's that bad. Do you get? They don't want to think about it. Technology has made everything too simple. So I try to help people to nudge them to think. And the moment you can think, right, you now embrace your presence, embrace your imagination, and be a better person that you are. You can also reach me on LinkedIn as Abdulraheem Oreagba and on all the social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm still trying to catch up. It's Rahim Oreagba. And the reason why I put that is also to just to go back to where Grace mentioned. Was it Grace or EJ? When you talk about the noise in the social media. Mr. Wonderful. What was his name again? Mr. Wonderful. On Lions Den. What's his name? Mr. Wonderful. It comes to mind very well. You just have to look it up. He said something while he was working with Steve Jobs. All right. That Steve Jobs always talked about signals and noise. Right. In this world that we are, there's a lot of noise. The ability to tone down the noise and listen to the signal tells how successful and how far you go. He says Steve Jobs was 80% signal, 20% noise. Look at your environment, the people around you. Are they signal or are they noise? He said Elon Musk is the first person that he has met that is 100% signal, no noise. Right? Yes, Kevin O'Leary, that is it. Thank you very much. He's the one. He said he was having a podcast on Diary of the CEO with Steve Bartlett. That's another podcast I follow, right? So he mentioned this, and I looked at it. Interestingly, when I finished watching that podcast, I started looking at people differently. Because something I used to do in the past was, when I'm talking to you, I check, is this valuable time spent, or am I wasting my time? So in the middle of the conversation, I can tell, okay, do I need to tune off, or do I need to tune on, or do I need to stay? So instantly I work it out. So when he mentioned that, I could instantly see the noise. And with the barrage of information coming out in social media, you see that there's a lot of noise. So for everyone, how well are we tuning into our signals, and how well are we tuning down the noise? So while you're tuning down the noise, tune up your signal and join the exclusive mentorship program. Join the Temp Tribe on Clubhouse and reach me on my social media handles, Rahim Oreagba, or go to LinkedIn and drop me a message, Abdulraheem Oreagba. And let's see how we can increase the signal so much that we can actually get to our desires in this world. With that, I'm not dropping the mic, but I leave you with a lot of peace, love, and gratitude. Thank you.
A girl for I need to Toastmasters. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is so good. But honestly, we could sit all day and just listen to you. You're such a fantastic conversationalist, and it's a
Thank
pleasure to
you.
meet you on the platform here. Thank you, Gracie, for the connect. And when you said Clubhouse, I'm like, hey, we Clubhouse still exists. Wow, 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 Lord God.
Oh, yes.
This is a platform we used to stay on. Like we would stay on Clubhouse for hours, 4 hours, 5 hours sessions. I used to be in a community, we call them Millionaires Growth Hack Club, so MGH. But where I am is crippling my time. But it's okay. I'm not gonna panic. Go past
With
them.
all the waves you have on YouTube, you don't have time for with what you are doing right now. What you're doing right now, don't worry, we are watching you. We are watching you.
Oh, grazie mille, amica. Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, it's been amazing. You've just dropped a lot of nugget and a lot for us to think about, and it's just really, really sitting with what you just said now about this is what you do in your community, which is help people think. Because all we've done on this conversation is like, huh, huh, like a simple question that anybody could have gone straight. You took us on journeys that made us actually activate our thinking. Like, especially when we're going like how to own your voice, then you went all the way to gratitude, contentment, and then landed us like, oh my God, this is so good. This is so good.
You're welcome.
I've had a great time today. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you, Mr.
That's
Oriaga.
why she's so amazing. That's why she's
So
so
amazing.
most
Like,
amazing. That's why she's
oh, amazing.
so amazing. She's the bomb. Gracie, thank you
Honestly,
so much.
I agree with you to say, how do we keep up with this woman? Because Kimberly, what's going on here?
She's the
But
connect.
it's why we
She's the
love you.
connect.
It's why we love you. Thank you for who you are and the amazing work you do as a person. And then, with all the different roles that now embellishes who you are as a person. So thank you so much, Mr. Abdulraheem Oreagba. You've been an amazing guest. We hope to have you again sometime soon. I know November is coming and we're thinking about it. We've not decided yet, but November is often the month for men, mental health for men and things like that. So maybe I think it would be lovely to have you on the show. Come and talk as man to man talk. We will just be here like guiding the conversation, but we think some men need to, because this the power you carry, the strength you carry. I think men, there's something there for men, and so we'll think about it. So please, when we come back and knock the door, I know you're a busy person, but please just keep small space for us to say, you said you were going to come. Let me check my calendar. So please, sir, we don't mind
That's
even
it.
if we have to adjust the timing. We can bend, just to accommodate you. But we'll talk about it and get back to you. I see your community people are here hailing. Yeah, so join the temp tribe with that bomb.
Yeah, so we try. And you mentioned something there. I
Yes.
have this soft thing for men, so you can count me in. One thing that I noticed and I think we need to correct is we have a lot of boys that are men, or should I say men that are boys. And I think it's something that we really need to correct, especially in this culture. We need to bring out the men back. Let's bring what men actually stand for, and it's something will come out next year for me. It was to come out this year, but I don't want to rush it. So it'll come out next year for me. And just look out for it. Something for men. Because I've had a couple
You
of
heard
people
it
also
first
approach me
on your
and
voice,
say
your
that, yes.
you heard it first on your voice,
Oh, yeah, something will come out from men. And I think it's very powerful. It's high time
Oh,
we take that very seriously. I've had a lot of
awesome.
people reach out to me, they're boys, they want them to come out to be great men. And you also have men too that just realize that there's some things that are lacking that we need to get the vibe on. I think that would be very
Right.
necessary. So
Oh,
I would like
love
to
it.
be there. So in advance, I'll be there.
Advance. Thank you in advance. Gracie, please close out the session. Thank you.
Let me take a deep breath in.
Breath work, right? It works magic.
Oh, thank you. So, I mean, we were not even looking at the time. We said, no, don't interrupt. Don't say we'll do this. I know, because, I mean, I don't want to say anything again. All I want to say to anyone that would watch this is, if you love the people in your space, send them this video. Tell them to watch it, because I'm definitely going to watch this again. And it's a gift that you'd give to someone to listen to this, because you touched on a lot of things, and you have really helped us to think. You have used your voice for impact. God bless you. And I know that one person that this message is for, that one person that would listen to your voice today and would transform, that person is going to change their own world. And that's why we do what we do here on Your Voice, Your Impact. The seed we are sowing is the seed of transformation, where people would use their voices for impact. We know without a doubt that our guest today has blessed you, just as he has blessed myself and EJ. And next week, we'll come again with someone that would use his or her voice for impact. Stick around and use your voice for impact. See you next week.
Thank you very much. It was fun being here. Great pleasure. Thank you so much for your time and for the audience too.
Thank you. Grazie. All right, guys. See you next week on another episode of Your Voice, Your Impact. Bye-bye.
Say Anjima. Odaro.
Odaro. Cachifono.